Today, we've invited Dr. Weber, and she has graciously accepted to speak at our school. She is, to me, one of the persons that I look up to so much because she values diversity. She also values education. She's a grandma. She's also had her own children in a Montessori program many years ago. And I see her children and grandchildren, and I look forward to our children growing up, as well as the children that she's raised. Dr. Weber is not only a grandparent, but did you know that she's also an assemblywoman for District 79? She was recently appointed to chair the Committee on Elections and Redistricting. She chairs the Assembly Select Committee on Higher Education, Campus Climate, and currently serves on the Assembly's Standing Committee on Education, Higher Education, Appropriations, and Banking and Finance. She is doing so much on behalf of many of us who have requests for education, and she's our voice, and we thank her. And thank you so much for coming today and speaking to our friends.
Thank you, and I think it's afternoon, right? It's not evening yet, but good afternoon. I want to thank, first of all, the staff for asking me to come today. I was coming anyway because two of the most important people in my life are in this school, and that's Kadir and Jaleel. And so I was going to come to watch them perform and participate in this as a grandmother, and I'm still going to do that because that's the most important thing I'll do today. I was laughing as I thought about it, but how this is my first time actually speaking at a preschool performance. And it's kind of a diverse life because Monday I spoke at the graduation at UC Berkeley and was a keynote speaker there, and now I'm asked to speak here. And I think this is a harder audience for sure. There's no question about this audience will be difficult, and so I will be brief. Let me just say that, you know, this is, and I think I was asked because this is my second time around as a Montessori parent or grandparent. I believe strongly in Montessori, and I think some of you probably have the same feeling about Montessori, but some of you probably question whether or not Montessori is a good place for your child. I serve on and this is my presentation to the parents. I think the kids know it's a great place to be. But I serve on the state's education committee, and I've been on the school board in San Diego City Schools for 8 years. I was there for 8 years. And one of the things that we have come to understand is just how important this time is in the life of your child. 0 to 3 is probably the most significant time in a child's life. 80% of their brain is developed between 0 to 3 for parents. Everything you do is making a permanent impression on the mind of your child. And while I, like many parents, didn't thoroughly understand Montessori in its initial phase with my daughter and my son, I began to understand just how significant it was in helping to develop the critical thinking skills, the analytical skills of children, where it may not appear to be manifested in, quote, how fast did they read and how fast did they compute. But once that foundation was laid, their ability and the trajectory for their learning was amazing. And so I want to encourage you parents to recognize that this is really a very important period of time, 0 to 3. And we're slowly recognizing it in the state with some of the initiatives we put forward and some of the initiatives that I put forward and the Women's Caucus has put forward to really expand the concept of 0 to 5 in education, because we're not funding it as we should, we're not supporting it as it should, and yet we know that if we do a good job from 0 to 3 and then from 3 to 5, that many of the challenges we face in the state of California with over-incarceration, kids dropping out of high school, not being prepared at 3rd grade to go forward, and meeting the needs of California to produce at least 2 million more bachelor's degrees by 2025. Those things will not be met unless we actually do an excellent job in 0 to 3. So I want to just simply encourage you and those who are here who sometimes wonder, is this really worth it? Is the money worth it? You know, is this really a good investment? It really is an investment that keeps paying over and over and over again in the development of your child. So I'm really honored to be here. You reaffirmed the things I'm doing in Sacramento. I have a heavy agenda that deals with education, preschool, as well as K through 12 and post-secondary. I serve on all of those committees because I firmly believe in education, what it does for our children, and this foundation is fundamental. And we're working hard to close the gap, not only for children here, but children across the state who don't have access to good support from 0 to 3 and good support in preschool as well. So once again, thank you so much. Montessori has been a significant part of my life, will continue to be so, and it inspires the work that I do in Sacramento to make sure that every child has access to excellent education, good prenatal care, 0 to 3 care, and 3 to 5, so that when they do go to kindergarten and they do go beyond, they have the foundation to be successful. Once again, thank you so very much. I'm looking forward to the dances and looking forward to interfacing with all the parents. Thank you.